Hey guys, Daddio here from Dadventure TV. I'm a little late in doing this, but I figured it was about time to do a Pivot Trail 429 review. This is the new one, 2019 model. I had a chance to demo one at the West Virginia Dirtfest put on by Dirtrag. Pivot was sponsoring it, which was pretty cool of them, or at least was one of the sponsors, one of the major ones. They had a lot of bikes there for demo, so I got a chance to demo the Mach 5.5, and the Trail 429. So this isn't really a full-on review because it was a demo. It was about maybe an hour and a half long. So it's more of, I guess, an initial thoughts, initial impressions video. But was on it for, like I say, about an hour and a half, so I got a pretty good feel for it. Had some flow trails, some easy loamy stuff, and then some pretty rocky stuff. West Virginia's it was at Big Bear Lake Campgrounds, has some pretty rocky technical stuff as well. So really got a chance to put it through its paces. I would tell you I fell in love with the bike right off the bat. Absolutely loved the thing. I guess the first thing to address is the 157 Super Boost Plus hub size on the back. You can go on their website and read about the reasons that they did it, but in essence, whatever they did, that back end is super short, super playful, and super stiff, and I love it. I think that the 157 combined with the DW Link just makes for an awesome rear end on the bike. It takes the power of the pedals immediately. I mean, I have not blasted off from a standstill like a rocket on any other bike that I've ridden yet. That thing just takes off like a beast, and then climbs either up slow, sort of granny gear, just slog it up type of climbing, or short burst, technical, rocky, get out of the saddle kind of climbs. Absolutely awesome. I actually I think the DW Link on that sort of technical, short, punchy climbs a little bit better than the VPP. I actually like them both. I think so far of all the suspensions and linkage systems, I like the VPP and the DW Link the best, but I think the DW Link edges it out a little bit for me. It might be a little stiff for some people. I think the VPP is a little more plush. The DW Link can feel maybe a little stiff actually on the initial compression, but I don't know, I like that personally. I like a bike that allows me to do more, and I'm not just relying on the suspension quite as much. But pedals, because of that firmness though, man, it's great on those uphills where you're trying to get it up over rocks, putting a lot of power down to it. So look, if you're worried about the 157, I wouldn't worry about it. I think that you're going to see it become actually probably the mainstay. I think actually personally 148 is what's going to be left behind. I really don't see the benefit of 148. To me, it seems like a half-assed measure. Either go all the way to 157 or stick with the original. I think what you'll find is in the future is that you're going to have the original for real light cross-country race machines, and 157 for everything else. By the way, if you do have a downhill 157 hub or wheel set, it will work. The only difference in the Super Boost and a downhill 157, as I understand it, is the spacing of the spokes. So it's not like it's a completely new and different hub size. It's one that's already out there. They've just adapted it more to a trail bike, and they've changed the spacing of I guess it's the spacing of the spokes so that they're straighter, so that creates a stiffer wheel. One of the nice things about that is that I rode it with a aluminum wheel, and man, that rear wheel was super stiff. So to me, it basically turns an aluminum wheel into what a carbon wheel would feel like under regular boost hubs. So hey, save money. Don't need to get a carbon wheel, and you get the same stiffness. That's all good by me. But that was it. Like I said, well, this isn't really full review. If I get a chance to demo one again and really put it through its paces a second time, I think I'll get a little bit even more feel. But I absolutely love the bike. It is fast as a rocket. It is maneuverable as heck. Pops over just about everything. I mean, the littlest thing in the trail, man, it'll. If you want to play on it, it'll allow you to do it. You got a rock on the side of the trail, jump off it, pop over it. You got a log falling down, you want to bunny hop it, go ahead, go do it. A drop off is coming up that you weren't ready for, just lean back and it takes it. It's got a pretty slack head angle. It's 67.3 with the 29-inch wheels, unless you put in the 17 mil head cap, which is for really the 27.5 plus wheels to keep the geometry the same roughly. But if you keep that in for the 29er wheels, it'll make it about a 66 something degree head angle, basically about the same as the 27.5 plus, because with 27.5 plus it's like 66.7 or something like that. So it's nice and slack. If you would like a fun bike, I think to me it's probably going to be sounds like the most comparable to a 5010. I've not ridden the 5010, but I hope to here. But just that fun trail bike, maneuverable, poppy, have a lot of get out there and just have a blast with it. You're going to be doing more of it than just sort of sitting back and relying on the bike to do all of it. But 120 mil travel in the rear, 130 fork up front. You can put 140 36 Fox 36 on it. It will handle it, and I don't know if there's much to me that I can ride that type of a bike isn't going to be able to handle. I come from an old school of pre-suspension back in the early 90s, so and I currently ride a hardtail, so I'm used to kind of using my body a lot as shock absorbing. If that's the kind of rider you are, you will absolutely love this bike, and it can handle stuff way beyond what you might think just by looking at the geometry numbers. Don't get fooled by the amount of suspension. It can take it all. So that's my thoughts on the Pivot Trail 429. Absolutely fell in love with it. I am going to test it against the Switchblade, and actually I am curious about the new Firebird, just because it's got very similar numbers. Oh, one thing about the Trail 429 before I sign off, they've extended the reach. The old one to me was just way too short. The reach and the top tube was just not long enough, and I think it was too short of a bike personally. The new Trail 429, they've lengthened. I think they've done a really nice job of it. I still almost kind of like the XL, just because I really like a long reach in a bike and a really short stem. But it's a nice size now compared to the older one. Yeah, great bike if you like playing and being able to do some of the work and not just sort of sit back and have the bike do it for you. If you want to be involved, if you're that kind of an involved rider, you like feeling the trail and being part of it and playing as you're riding along, and if you love speed, you're going to love this bike. You should definitely give it a shot. Pivot goes around the country and does demos, so if you go to their website, you can check them out, see if they're nearby. And a lot of the Pivot dealers, they have dealer locations on their website too. A lot of the dealers have demos. So, at any rate, get out there if that's the kind of bike you like. Try it. I think you'll have a good time. That's it for now. Daddy-O signing off, and I'll see you on the next one. Sorry I didn't take any trail footage on this one, but GoPro had died on me. I completely forgot to charge it. But if I could add another one there, I'll put some trail footage on there for you guys. All right, take care.